close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me.
George was what we call our ray of sunshine. We knew he had Down syndrome when he was born, and we were super excited to sort of work out who he was going to be. And George just sort of reached in, and the way he looked at you, he looked deep into your eyes, and it just sort of reached into your soul and gave you the biggest hug. One of the biggest things about George was his love for music. He was a massive fan of The Greatest Showman. Any music that came on, he would get his little jive on, or get his musical instruments out and have a play and do what George does best.
Fill my head, a million dreams are keeping me awake.
In September 2019, George became unwell and was admitted to hospital.
We thought George had gastro, and given his background health conditions, I thought it was probably best to go up to the hospital. Even the doctors at the time didn't think that we were looking at something dire. When we went to the room and set ourselves up in the room, I think within about half an hour of being there, George's his IV line started beeping. And as I turned around, and I noticed that my beautiful George was all mottled, and the nurse walked in at the same time and pushed the magic red button, and everybody just sort of came running. And that was the first signs that we were looking at something a little bit more than gastro.
George was then transferred to the Queensland Children's Hospital, and Jenny was given the news that he had developed sepsis. Within 8 hours, George was put on life support.
That's okay, we'll keep going. I mean, George is ready. He'll tell us that he can't do this anymore. So we were going to give it our best shot, and everyone around us was quite willing to do that.
I am not a stranger to the dark.
Little George fought for 4 more days with his mum by his side the whole time.
We went in on a Monday and we lost our George on the Thursday. And we spent our time with our George.
This is me.
Playing This Is Me, having the biggest cuddles, because obviously while he's there on life support, you don't get to cuddle your child, you don't get to do the things as a mum you hope and would like to desperately do.
Some comfort for Jenny during those dark days were the beautiful people behind the bereavement services supported by the Children's Hospital Foundation.
I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't had that chance to be able to reach out. The bereavement group, it's a platform, it's just something that's there, and I wanted to so desperately just to connect with another mum or dad who just knew what that meant, even if that moment was just to sit with someone who just got it.
I've learned to be ashamed of
That's why I wanted to be a part of the bereavement group, because I just thought, well, this is so needed, it's so relevant and so incredibly important in those early days.
Jenny found extra comfort in the annual remembrance ceremony held by the bereavement team, where she could remember her son along with other grieving parents.
As a bereaved parent as well, that heartache is also an expression of my love for my child. That deep, intense pain that you have from that loss, that's never gone. Trust me, it's never gone. It's like a weight that you carry that will never go away. But at the end of the day, I don't want it to, because it will mean that those feelings and that beautiful son that I had, now I'm getting emotional, that won't resonate anymore. I want it to. I want that expression of my love for my son to always be there.